Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Apex Racing TV, and welcome to the start of what is set to be a pretty exciting 5 rounds of competition in this, the Apex Racing Academy GT4 VRS Super Series. Great to have you with us. We're getting set, as I just said, for 5 weeks of competition. We've got plenty of cars on track, and they'll be battling out in the BMW M4 GT4, one of the new cars on the iRacing service over the last few weeks, and of course the Porsche 718 Cayman GT4 as well. And we've got a very interesting format which we will bring you up to speed with in a moment. But first, excuse me, welcome inside the commentary box alongside myself, Adam Bath. For this one is going to be former iRacing World Championship Grand Prix Series driver Alex Simpson and the team principal of the Apex Racing team. And we'll also have Andrew Woodhouse along in a moment as well. But Alex, welcome. Great to be here. Great to be at Watkins Glen International as well for the first race of the season. And we've got a really exciting series on our hands here. We're trying out the heat format as well for the first time in one of these broadcasts, and the Academy's up and running again as well. There's a lot of things to be excited about over the next hour or two.
Yeah, indeed there is. Hello everyone, good to be back, good to be in the comms booth for this one. Yeah, really looking forward to it. Like you said, Sam, we have got, sorry Adam, Watkins Glen.
I've been
Watkins
called
Glen.
worse.
Yeah, they're good to know. We've got Watkins Glen, what a great opener. Could be interesting, like that first lap with a new league, new drivers. We often see all sorts of shenanigans, so let's hope for a good start to tonight. But of course, yes, the Apex Racing Academy is back in partnership with Virtual Racing School as well, and yeah, everybody's putting up some nice prizes and things like that. So some great prizes on offer in terms of sort of 12 months worth of memberships on all platforms, and of course SDK Gaming putting their hand into into the mix as well, and you can get some subscriptions from there as well. So we've got Pro, we've got AM championships to be won. We've got team competition out there as well. Yeah, so great great competition. Of course, one thing that we will say as well is we have balance of performance the cars tonight. There is 25 kilograms of ballast in the Porsche. So if you're thinking, God, these Porsche drivers are no good, well, that's because we tried to slow them down a little bit.
And also, you mentioned before we came on air that the Pro and the AM, well, we'll say the level of competition will be tweaked somewhat after this first round as well, depending on how good they are. Pro are in the green, as they can see. There's the guide at the top of your screen for you. Pro are in the green, and the Pro-Ams are in the red. And today at Watkins Glen is the first of 5 rounds. Next time out we're at Silverstone, then we're at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park for round 3, Lime Rock Park for the 4th round, and then the final round of competition is at Road America. So a pretty North American feel to this. And at the moment we've got a closed qualifying session going on at the moment. So the drivers have the track to themselves, and they'll all be setting their own individual laps, and the odd drivers will be taking part in the first heat, and then the even placed qualifiers will then be taking part in race 2. And then there's a short race, Alex, and then there's a feature one for both of those heats, right?
Correct, yeah. So odds and evens split. Top 16 from each heat will progress, and the bottom drivers from those one goes into consolation, and then we've got the top 10 in that one will go through as well. So assuming we have a full grid of 62 cars, which I don't think we've quite got. I think we had about 57 entries in the end. Yeah, we could sort of have 42 drivers in the final race as well. So there is a little warm up that goes on sort of between the consolation and that as well. So we'll sort of take stock and let some red mist settle down, just in case there has been some. But yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting format. Like you say, it's the first time we've personally hosted anything with the heat racing formats, and it looks like an exciting one. We love to throw a reverse grid in there, though, don't we, Adam? And of course, we've done that with the feature race with the top 10 reverse, so that should be fun.
The only thing we are missing is a Wheel of Fortune for this. But
I know, what am I going to do without the Wheel of Fortune?
I know, yeah.
I'm not sure I signed up for this. I don't know. Bring it back.
Just can't get the stuff, can you?
Well, just create one that's minus 10 every time, or 10 every time.
10,
every
10,
spot.
10,
I'll be
yeah.
like, hey, I'm good.
Well, we've got just just over 10 seconds to go before the qualifying session comes to an end. And one thing we haven't really talked about yet are the drivers that we've got are competing in this, and a few familiar names, that is for sure. Moritz Slono in particular qualifying on second spot at the moment for the Williams Esports team. And now that the qualifying session is over, we are not too far away from getting onto the grid. In fact, we are on it now, and we've got 25 cars getting set to grid up for the first heat race of the day. As Alex mentioned, this is a 10 lap or 15 minutes, whatever comes first, sprint race. And then after that, the top 16 from this will go into the feature. So I'd say that a good 3/4 of these will be advancing from this, because we've got 25 cars set to compete. And it's going to be such a gore list, starting on pole position with Jacob Toffs in second for Sim Sports News by iZone. And it's Atheum Racing's Isaac Gen in third, Adrian Campfield in fourth, Lucas Byron in fifth, and sixth, Philip Johansson, Lewis Ward seventh, eighth, Damian Harris, ninth, Tobias Burker, and then in 10th place, Driftline Racing's Nathan Thomas. Martin Potoknik in 11th, Jentis Adriansen in 12th place for Indy Autosport, Jose Malbrin for Brewbank Racing, Bradley Hulse for Simtech, Mark Heron, the Scot, in 15th, Andy Derrick, then Carl Jacquelet, Mark Jones, Vladislav Dangov, and then Scotty Angelo, Jay Steffi in 21st, Paul Calist in 22nd, Nick Dawes 23rd, 24th, Kip Stevens hasn't set a time, and starting at the back of the grid will be Stefan Kalbrecht in 25th. So that's how they're going to be lining up for the first race of the day. And I'd say we're about a good 30 seconds away from getting this one underway, Alex. So I think for most of these drivers, with 16 out of the 25 set to advance through, I guess the main thing is just keep it as clean as possible.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, this is the thing with the heat racing. It's a different mindset, isn't it, that you have to have out there. There are points in this heat, but most of the points, of course, will come from the feature race. So really, you just need to make sure that you are, you're progressing through to the feature. Of course, a better finish will get you in a better qualifying position, obviously with the reverse grid in consideration to that. So, it's what you don't want to do, of course, like any race, is you don't want to just go out in the first lap and just have ruined your chances. So, yep, my fingers, my legs, my toes are crossed that we're going to have a good, clean first lap. I might be, might be eating my words though.
Well, yeah, this configuration of Watkins Glen that we've got, as you can see from the blimp, it very much filters down into the S's. So if there's any 2 or 3 wide, or who knows, maybe 4 wide going into the right-hander, then we could have some trouble on our hands. It is a rolling start for this one, and one great thing about the heat racing, as Alex was mentioning there, the finishing positions for this will also form part of the grid for the main event itself. So even if you're in 16th place and you feel like, oh, I've done my bit, I'm into the next race, you may as well go for another place and maybe help improve your starting position on the grid for the main event. So watch out for drivers doing that. We are on the back straight here. We are on the full layout of the Watkins Glen International Circuit today. That includes the bus stop chicane here, which they're going into. Does this almost add another overtaking opportunity, Alex, as opposed to just running flat out into the carousel?
Yeah, I think, you're going to get through on the carousel, that is a place, but I think you can still get through on this chicane. I think it does make it a little bit harder, but I think the slipstream is enough in these cars that you can kind of do it. There is a difference in the straight line speed of the cars, and so I think, if somebody's in a BMW, they seem to be a bit faster in the straight line from what I've seen in the practice session, so I think they'll be able to get the moves done in there. But, the Porsches seem to be able to carry more speed through the corners and generally hold onto their tyres a little bit better. So I think with the ballast, what we've got is it's going to be quite a mix-up at the start of the race. And then towards the end, I think the Porsches are going to come on strong. So, yeah, it could be very interesting sort of dynamic how it's going to work. But, yeah, I feel we're going to see some overtaking in this one.
And all of these drivers, are they using setups that have been created by some of the Apex Racing Academy coaches, am I right?
Correct, yeah. So they're both of, it is a fixed setup series, so we should have mentioned that at the start. So all of the setups are supplied by Apex Racing Academy. The drivers get access to the setups a week ahead of this race. They either download them using our SDK setup sync tool, which is part of the Academy subscription, or they can actually log on to VRS, and there's some exclusive data packs on VRS that are being done by our coaches as well, that they can access, and they can grab the setups from there. So whatever you fancy in terms of getting it directly from our sync tool, where it just appears in your setup folder, all organised for you, or you can grab it from the VRS website. Right, Adam, I think it's over to you. We're getting ready now.
Here we go then. It's Glen and Jacob Tofts that are going to bring us down to the green flag. Safety car is in the pit lane now, and the green lights are on, and we're underway for the first heat race of the evening here in the Apex Racing Academy GT4 VRS Super Series. And into the first corner, it's going to be the Belgian, Glen. The pole sitter leads into the turn one. The BMW of Isaac Glen has had a good start. He's already been able to get by Jacob Tofts. And for the most part, this rolling start has meant that everybody is very well behaved through the S's. Not too much in the way of too wide at all. And now you're just going to make sure you don't hit this wall, which somebody comes very close to doing.
It's always that wall, isn't it? That is the one every time. I'm expecting to see someone cartwheel through it. No, we're all good. We'll take it. Lap is not, of course, over yet, so I am not counting my chickens.
I know, yeah. I was doing the 24 Hours of Le Mans at the weekend, and I was pretty much holding my breath for the entire first lap. You're kind of ticking off all of the trouble spots as you go along. And as we go on to the boot section, the Spaniard, Isaac Glen, for Afium Racing, I should say, is having a good start to the race. He's already gained one position. He managed to stop the Porsche domination of the front row by getting past Jacob Tofts in the early going. And a few other drivers have gained spots on the first lap. Philip Johansson, also getting places, Jose Melbourne, Mark Heron, and Jay Steffi as well. So some early overtakes going on here, but Isaac, it looks like he's already starting to feel the pressure from Jacob Tofts here. The Sim Sports News by Ozone car looking up the inside, Alex, and it looks like he might just get it done. But if you go around the outside here, as Isaac is doing, it means you have the inside line for the left-hander here.
Yeah, sends one up the inside there. Like you say, but well held on from Isaac. Just, we've got a spinner, and around he goes. So Tofts, I don't know if there was any contact or anything there. We'll have a look at that back in a moment. But suddenly the car just stepped out from underneath him, and he finds himself facing the wall and into the Armco. Held the brakes, which is, I have to say, I'm really pleased to see that. One of the things I did post. So he's just a little bit wide. Does he just get a little bit onto... just gets a little bit onto the grass. I think it was a self-spin, unfortunately, for Jacob. But yeah, of course, it's not all and done for. He has got the consolation race that he can come. And he definitely looks fast enough that he can still be involved in this one come the end of the race.
Yeah, that is one good thing about this series, is that it's not totally over for him. And he has come back to the pits, so he's managed to get back under his own power, but there was a lot of damage to the rear end of that Porsche. He'd already lost one spot on the opening lap, and then things went from bad to
someone
worse
blinking
there.
out just where you don't want to happen. Nothing
nothing
worse than that. But yeah, they managed to come through the bus stop without any problems.
End of the first lap then. It is Glen that leads for Redface Racing. Isaac Glen in second. Adrian Campfield up into third, and Philip Johansson has gained 2 spots, and he fancies gaining another here as the Hell Racers BMW, the Swede, starts to eye up Adrian Campfield here. Not too many car lengths between them. And these GT4 cars, Alex, do they provide a bit of drag? Does it mean that we get quite a lot of slipstreaming? It'll be probably beneficial at a track like this, which is quite quick.
Yeah, good old Watkins, always good for the slipstream, isn't it? And yeah, they do. They punch quite a hole, and yeah, so we're going to see some people getting some runs here and there, I'm sure.
And out of the boot section we go. This is where we saw, of course, Jacob Tofts losing it on the previous lap. It is a 10-lap race, or 15 minutes, whatever comes first. And the last lap was a 2-minute one by Glen. Let's see what kind of lap sums they do this time. It'll give us a much clearer indication of what's going to come first, the 15 minutes or the 10 laps. Over the line onto lap 3. 1:57.3 done by both Sasha and Isaac, but it was Glen that was quicker than Agorle. Second place BMW looking quite good in the early stages, as Alex was alluding to. Of course, as this race progresses, the Porsche could start to become a bit quicker. But here is Adrian Campfield then, in third place. One of the Pro-Am drivers, the red stripe on the timing screen. And he has got Philip Johansson right behind him. We are looking from the front of Campfield, and now switch to fourth place Philip Johansson. Is he going to get by into the bus stop? The inside line is pretty much closed off by Campfield, and he's just about clear to move back towards some part of the racing line so we can get the optimal entry into the chicane there. But Johansson, he's had a good start, Alex. He's knocking on the door already of a spot on the podium.
Yeah, looking strong, like you say, like wants to move forward. Not a huge amount of time in qualifying to get your lap in, is there? And this is why I think with those sort of lone qualifiers, few lap runs, you always see people trying to move forward. But yeah, as you were saying earlier though, Adam, about obviously the Porsche being strong, and I think this is why Sash trying to pull away, break the draft already, because he knows he doesn't want to tow these BMWs any further. But it does. I am chuckled a little bit as you've got the one Porsche out front, followed by 4 BMWs just trying to hunt him down at the moment, like a little angry pack, little angry horde out there.
They could all group together and try and get him as one, strength in numbers and all that. In fact, we've only got 3 Porsches in the top 10. Sasha Gorley, our leader. Then we've got 6th place Lewis Ward, and then 8th place Tobias Burker. So those are the 3 Porsches in the top 10. Everybody else BMWs, and in fact, if you just widen that a little bit more, if you cast the net a bit further, we've only got a couple more Porsches in the top 20. It is heavily dominated by BMWs here. I wonder if this is something we'll see in the second heat race as well. And just outside the top 10, we've got a nice little clump of cars battling over 10th, 11th and 12th. This is Potoknik, then Nathan Jose Malbran, and Jensen Adriansen. So a few more BMWs fighting here over a potential spot inside the top 10. And they've started to be cut adrift just a little bit now with 9th place and 8th place, I should say, Tobias Burker.
Now, what we must also keep an eye on, Adam, is that there is one prize up for grabs at the end of this championship that's got nothing to do with how fast the drivers are out there. It's all about the best livery, and it's our pick. We get to pick that one, so you know, you've got to keep a little eye out. Now, of course, bribes are, you know, welcome. But the most obvious one is I do not see any Apex Racing TV logos. They make you go a little bit faster. You know, stick a VRS one on there and we're loving it, you know. Surely that's going to help us in our decisions. So.
Well, the Apex Racing TV team weren't able to beat the Apex Racing Academy team in the iRacing 24 Hours of Le Mans at the weekend. Me and Dane Bears, one of our fellow commentators here on the channel, he was in the Apex Racing TV car. We had a very decent scrap at the beginning and at the end of the race. If I had to pick a strong livery that I've liked so far, I have to pick the one in 5th place. I'd say that is Lucas Byron, the Chime car. It looks like that grey and black with the sunny Watkins Glen sky reflecting off it.
Yeah, nice
work
really with contender. The spec map there, isn't it? So I have to say, iRacing really are sort of stepping up with the way the graphics look. You know, a lot of the time the other sims out there have had, you know, these sort of chrome effect cars and things like that, and a lot of people have been trying to sort of get them to get on board, and yeah, well, they've done it, so it's awesome.
Well, speaking of on board, I think we've got Andrew Woodhouse on board now for the remaining half of this first race. Are you there, mate?
Yeah, good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, everybody. Good to be here.
Nice.
And we're sharing the booth with Mr. Simpson. Always a pleasure, of course.
Ah, indeed. It's been a long time since us 3 have been in the booth together.
Yeah, and it would have been 8 minutes earlier, but here we are.
What are you going to do? Windows will be Windows.
That's it.
One thing I've just been amazed by as we were watching the cars go through that left-hander is that all these door mirrors are still on. I'm amazed that no one's clouted them off. None of the Onco barriers yet through that left-hander onto the back straight. As we now look back from the rear of Isaac Jane, the Spaniard, he hasn't been able to really drop Adrian Campfield. These cars have all been pretty much stuck together since the start, and Sasha Gorley, Woody has been pulling away at quite a rate. He was the only driver on that last lap to do a time inside the 1 minute 57s, inside the 1:58s, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty impressive, isn't it? Any time that you're in a completely different second to everybody else, you're doing a good job. And especially around this circuit, you don't see that many massive gaps around here. So yeah, that's really, really impressive. A goal at 2.4 seconds clear, as you can see, and you can see him there just rounding that left-hander. This pack very close together though, and yeah, we've got 3 BMWs and well, 4 BMWs and a Porsche at the back.
One thing that we did see on our screen just then, Alex, was a drive-through penalty for Mark Heron. The Scotsman may have been involved in a bit of contact with somebody.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if we can perhaps find where that was on the event viewer. I don't, unfortunately. Otherwise, I would have dug it out and brought it back.
Well, inside, that's Ward. He's just gone through on Biron.
Maybe these Porsche tyres are starting to come into their own. Of course, we're only a little short race here, aren't we, with the heat races? So perhaps not that much time for them to really step up. But yeah, definitely like you said there, Woody, making moves now. So feeling a bit more confident.
My maths isn't the greatest, but I think we're going to get the 15 minutes in before we get the 10 laps completed.
Quick maths there, Adam.
I hope so. I hope I'm right. I look like a right idiot. Is that Isaac that's gone a bit wide?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think. Yeah, 2 minutes. There's 4 laps to go, including this one, and yeah, 4 times 2 is 8. So, and there's only 4 minutes left. So, Adrian Campfield is Adrian Campfield has only got to hold on for just under 4 more minutes if he wants a spot at the bubbly, because Philip Johansson is struggling somewhat to get by. He's probably going to be starting to get a bit fed up of seeing the back of that stacked racers car.
Yeah, and I mean, this is one of the overtaking places if you can get a good run into the heel, you can get a move done down there. I like that corner, it sort of feeds you in nicely. Oh, side by side then for second place. That's Campfield actually making a move, Adam. So instead of holding on to the bubbly, he's actually trying to advance.
Doesn't want to end up losing it all entirely though. It's double or quits, it looks like here in the case of Adrian Campfield.
It's always tough here as well. If you
very close there. As we go over the line onto lap 7.
My groan just kicks in. Microphone's still active, apparently.
there is a school of thought, Alex, as well here, that you can get to the front too quickly here at Watkins.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think, Adam sort of pointed out at the start, we obviously have got the bus stop, which does make it a little bit harder to get by, but I think there's still enough slipstream in these cars that it's going to happen. Of course, these BMWs don't want to squabble too much, because Ward is just sort of lurking, I think, at the moment, ready to pounce. His tyres are going to be in much better condition right now. I will point out, Lewis Ward was the first person to sign up to the league as well. He was top of our entry list, so thank you, Lewis, for being the first one. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure how he managed that, because I think Paul List even signed up before we announced it. I don't even know. Suddenly I saw this order come in for the league. I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, Lewis was the first one officially signed up to it.
Jose Malbran's just got into the top 10, Adam. We saw him on Thursday night, didn't we? Most recently in the ARL TCR.
Another Apex Racing League in operation, doing well there, yeah. And Malbran up 3 places. This might be how it was done. Yes, it is. This is a replay. He has got Martin Potoknik in front of him here. That's another good livery, I must say. Both of them actually very good. And then Rowney outside on the brakes. That is very decent. And the lights flashing there by Martin. I wonder if that was just in approval, maybe. I'm not sure.
I don't know. What do you think, Adam, after Le Mans? Were there many light flashes in approval? Maybe 1 or 2?
Oh, well, after we crashed into somebody earlier on, I think they. Oh, in the background is contact there. I'd like to pick up
Oh,
that story in a minute. As Simtek's Bradley Hulse goes off.
yeah, and that was possibly, I don't know if that was contact with Adriansons, but oh dear,
See
look out,
see what I can find.
he's all right, and it may well be the Belgian dives up the inside.
Ah, a bit of you just
He
can't
was
help.
blinking earlier, wasn't he, Alex? I
Yeah,
think.
you just can't help when it's like that. Unfortunately, it's just going to be one of those horrible situations. Gotta get that connection absolutely solid. 30 seconds to go.
Adrianson's ARL GT driver as well on a Sunday night.
Oh yeah. Just before we get the finish in, I will finish off that. Just to finish off that story, yeah, I think we hit somebody, and I think every time we either passed them or they passed us, they were flashing the lights at us just to remind us of our indiscretion. But here's Sasha Gorley, then nothing to worry about for him, and he's within touching distance of picking up a major milestone, the first ever win in this series.
Well, he's getting 2.5 seconds just in the last 2 minutes, and that's partly the battling, but it might be partly what Alex was saying about the tyres as well, coming into their own a little bit, as he said. Gorley, yeah, looking good, and well, he's only got a few corners to go at him. It's looking like he's going to take this first heat.
Of course, that will advance the top 16 advance into the main event itself. Or into the next one, I should say. Anyway, yeah, as the race nears its conclusion, looks like we're going to have 2 pros and a pro-am on the podium here. As we look here at Paul Joseph Clist, he's in 15th place. He's one of the cars on the bubble of advancing, and at the moment 16th place is in his hands.
There is someone missing on the timing screen, so we have to be careful of that, guys.
Yeah, I was trying to work out who it was, but Sasha Gorley is definitely not missing. He's taken the checkered flag. Second place is going to go to Adrian Campfield, just ahead of Isaac Jane, who ends up falling down to 3rd. And then Philip Johansson just misses out on the podium in 4th, and Lewis Ward completes the top 10.
Yeah, so
top 4, I should say.
It's Dangov that's missing. He looks like he's coming across in 14th. Well, it'll be close. It's going to be close, but I think he's going to get there. 14th for Dangov. So Jones 15th and Clist in 16th.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
There he is. Look, he appears now.
Like magic.
There he is. There's Mark Jones in 15th. Dangov just in front of him, and Paul Clist in 16th. The Year 1 racing car is the last to advance through to the next race, which we've got coming up.
Me, or does nobody look like they've slowed down yet?
Yeah, you're right. I think, but there are people that have left the circuit, so we're okay.
All right, that's a relief. We don't want another one of these one extra lap businesses debacles, do we? After the weekend,
no, we don't.
Oh god. Right, next after this is going to be the second heat race, which is the same as this one, another 15 minutes. And in this heat is going to be the cars that started in the even positions on the grid. And just as in this one, the top 16 from that will advance through to the feature race.
You've just called literally half the field odd. It's a little harsh on the first week, isn't it, really?
I'll say it's just as I was saying to Alex when we began the last broadcast, at the beginning of the broadcast, I've been called much worse.
Well, Moritz Lerner is on pole position. It looks like, and he's a familiar name. But there's the results from Heat 1. Sasha Gorley with the win, 5.6 seconds ahead of Adrian Campfield. Isaac Shane Hyan maybe in 3rd. Philip Johansson in 4th. Lewis Ward 5th. Lucas Biron in 6th. Damien Harris, a familiar name as well, in 7th. Tobias Burka in 8th. Nathan Thomas 9th. Jose Malbran in 10th ahead of Martin Potocznik. Jensen Adriansons in 12th, Jay Steffi 13th, Radoslav Dangov in 14th, and then Mark Jones 15th. 16th was Paul Clist, and then Nick Dawes in 17th, Bradley Hulse 18th, and then 19th, Benoit Holzer. Sorry, 19th, Kip Stevens, Carl Jacquelet 20th, Stefan Kalbrecht in 21st, Scotty Angelo 22nd, then Mark Heron, Andy Derrick, Jacob Tofts. And were there any more, or is that
is
it? I think that might be it. Jacob Toft's the only man then who failed to finish. So there we go. So second heat underway then.
Yes.
And here's the grid, Adam.
Yes, indeed. And we have got some big names on here. Don't forget, if you finish outside the top 16, you get sent into the consolation race or the repechage race or whatever you want to call it. And the winner from that gets to advance into the feature race as well. But here is the starting order then
Top
for
10,
the second
top 10,
heat.
not just the winner.
Oh, top 10. I saw one. I saw one of. Didn't see
Well, the
zero.
winner does advance. I mean, he
This is
wasn't
true.
wrong.
No, this is true. Factually
No,
correct.
where's the 10 there? Why does it say only? Why does it say only one? Oh, I'm confused. But here is the grid. It's Moritz Lohner starting on pole position, the Williams Esports driver who I've often seen on the stage when I've been in the
Yeah.
audience at the Sim Racing Expo. So if that's anything to go off, expect him to be pretty quick. So too Jackie Lotterman, just 24 thousandths between the two of them, and then Marcel Erang in third, Matthias Baer in fourth, and then Adam Tompkins in fifth. So a very German field to the top 5 cars. Ben Gregory in 6th place, a familiar face to those of you that watch the Apex Racing League Touring Car Championship on a Thursday night. Dmitry Denisov in 7th, and Jonas Sager in 8th. Anders Hoyland, so a very Scandinavian field there in 8th and 9th. And Tom Edgar completing the top 10. Mark Silcock, the Kiwi, in 11th. Joshua Jensen in 12th place. 13th for Belgians Lucas David. Then Andy Taylor, 14th. Alvar Gomez in 15th. Into 16th place, it's Ollie Bultink. Then Marco Tolman in 17th. Tucker Martin, Benoit Holzer, and Daniel Antunes in 20th. Toby Ward in 21st place. Wolfgang Loader in 22nd. Dirk Reski 23rd. 24th on the grid is going to be Clemens Sibon. And then that is it. So 24 cars in this one. And just like in the last one, 16 cars advance through to the main event itself automatically.
All right. Well, this style of racing is always good because it does promote a lot of excitement, especially in the midfield. Something different, Alex, for the channel, isn't it today? Something we're not really seeing that much.
This is exactly what we were saying at the start of the broadcast. Yeah, it's absolute first for us in terms of doing this type of sort of heat racing, and I like the format. You know, they did obviously during the lockdown, and you know, the sort of real motorsport companies all come in and they quite like the idea, and we've broadcasted a few of those, but it's the first time we've run anything like this, and you know, it is a nice format. It works really well, and I know we were talking about doing heat races a long time ago for, like, you know, sort of like the touring cars, and just sort of see, you know, could it work? And I don't think it was ready when we were first talking about it, but absolutely now this is a great little format.
The well, there we go, Adam. The safety car is just about ready to pull in.
Here we go then, and it's going to be Williams Esports Moritz Lohner that's going to bring us to the green light, and he accelerates away now. Unlike in race 1, where the first heat, where we saw them go pretty much straight away, Moritz there was waiting for the green flag to go, and he's already got a nice little jump here, quarter of a second advantage over Jackie Lotterman. And already Adam Tompkins trying to get some places gained. He's already got past Matthias Baer going into the first corner. Good start from the Brit. He's managed to break the German, at least get past one of the German cars, as we are too wide going through the S's.
Yeah, we know this is interesting, especially these GT4 cars sometimes don't like it on the first, don't like fast corners on the first lap. And but everybody's safely through. Did everybody make it through in race 1 on the first lap as well?
I think the only person we lost was Jacob at the end of the first lap.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is, we got live stewarding for this this meeting, well, the whole series, and they only put out one penalty. We're expecting to be dishing them out left, right, and centre. I guess everybody knows they've got live stewards. They've got to be on the best behaviour. We'll see if that changes.
Well, since F1 usually does a good job of naming and shaming the stewards, who have we got live stewarding today?
Dane Baird, I believe, isn't it?
We've got Dane Baird, we've got Sam Fitzpatrick, and
Fitzpatrick will be itching to give penalties out.
Yeah.
He's literally like, he's probably his fingers just hovering over the button, I reckon.
And we've got Alessandro Deldoni as well.
Oh well,
we go.
we know all
motley
about
crew in there.
We know all about Alessandro and Dane Baird after our exploits at the one of the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, Moritz Lohner's got plenty of experience as well over the past few years, and He's made a good start. Can't get rid of Jackie Lotterman, but we've seen Lotterman in the past on the channel, Alex, and he's got some speed, hasn't he? He's very, very fast indeed, the Dutchman.
Yeah, Jackie's quick. We know. I saw him quite early join sort of the academy because obviously all these drivers sign up to this league, got themselves 3 months free Apex Racing Academy. He was in there. He was grabbing the sets and getting some practice in. So, and yeah, he looks pretty good.
One thing that we have seen as well in this one is that there are a lot more Porsches at the front of this one as opposed to in the first heats where it was mainly BMWs that were in the top 10.
We've got a really good split, haven't we, of these heats of Porsches and BMWs, as we see potentially an accident at the start.
Oh no, I think. Oh, yep.
Oh, and everybody didn't get away scot-free. As
Ah, poor Ollie. I was having a good suspension damage at the back there as well.
Bull Tink.
I was talking to Ollie on the lead up to the series as well, and yeah, we share a love of RC racing as well. And,
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's very, very good at what he does too. So I took pleasure in sort of saying, oh yeah, you know, I did well in the national championships here in Britain, and there he is on the podium in the European Championships. So I'm like,
Well,
none too shabby. New
well, I
to
hope
sim
he enjoys
racing,
drive-through
so
penalties as well.
Yeah.
He's just received one.
I just got one. Well, welcome to sim racing, Ollie.
That's the other RC, race control, and they've just dished out a slap on the wrist for that one.
Not only has he got bench suspension, he's got a penalty as well.
That's terrible, isn't it? That just makes it all the worse. As Edgar and Denisov look like they're changing positions. I tell you, Adam.
Spinner in the background.
Someone spun it. I think that is Dennis.
Denisov. Dennis off, maybe. Can he get it? Oh, he's got to do the old
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Austin Powers, or maybe not. Maybe he decides against it. I was going to say that the very important moves going on in that midfield, considering obviously the threshold to get in. Did you say it was 16 or 15? Sorry.
16.
16. So Tucker Martin started 18th. He's up to 15th. Marco Tolman started 17th. He's up to 13th. So those guys, Alex, they're going to be very, very happy with their starts indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you say, just got to try and get a little bit of safety. It's very tight in that area as well. So one mistake and could see you losing 4 or 5 places, and very difficult to gain them back.
I think we are missing Tolman from the timing screen on the left-hand side of your picture there. He's in 13th place.
Let me see if I can
back to
sort
the
that
fight.
one out.
It's the top 3. Daniel Antonez as well has gained 5 places to get into the top 15. He's currently in 15th place ahead of Tucker Martin. But here we are, the 3 Porsches racing away from Adam Tompkins in 4th, and then the Pius BMW at the moment is Ben Gregory in 5th. The top 5 all pro drivers. After that, everybody in the rest of the field, it looks like, all pro-ams.
Well, incidentally though, nobody's breaking away here. Lerner can't quite get that separation that he needs. Lotterman and then Marcel Irang, and they all look controlled at the moment. You know, the drivers obviously will know that the tyres are a bit dodgy at the start. I'll tell you what, it hasn't hurt the speed though in the first part of the race, has it?
It hasn't. Brilliant times by some of the drivers. I don't think we saw anybody get into the 1 minute 56s in the first heat, but Jackie Lotterman did just that on the last lap, a 56.99. That counts. And we are riding on boards with Marcel Irang here. Jackie Lotterman tries to apply some pressure to Moritz Lerner here as we come out the final corner onto the front straight. Turn 1, it's a tricky one. We mentioned this in the IRLTC on Monday, because if you get up the inside there, you're then just going to be at a disadvantage for the rest of the straight.
Yeah, it's one of those corners, isn't it, Alex? It's quite inviting, but it's really a little bit pointless doing an overtake there. It's less pointless doing it when the bus stop chicane's in play, though, because that does make a big difference.
Yeah, I agree. That you can defend going into there then. So Jackie having a little look.
What's he doing?
Is he having a look? Nah, he's just sort of showing his nose, just sort of saying you're not got it all your own way. Yeah.
good straight line speed in these cars, Adam, as well. I think.
Yeah.
Like they're faster than what they actually appear.
And this is even with a little bit of the ballast in the car. Alex was mentioning to me before we came on air that they have tried to apply some balance of performance so that the BMWs and Porsches are on a level footing.
Looks like we got it wrong in this race, though, doesn't it?
Maybe so.
I don't know though. Those BMW guys who are ahead of all those Porsche guys at the back, they'll be saying you got it right.
Yeah.
Who's in that important 16th place? Tucker Martin at the moment. Well, he's just passed Antunes actually.
Yeah, worth pointing out once again the green is our pro drivers, so the drivers with the green stripe next to their name, and those with the red, that is our AM drivers. It will be reviewed after the first couple of races, make sure that we've kind of got it on point, but yeah.
I mean, it looks good here.
Yeah, you think we got it right. Oh, that was
Look,
a
that's
great
very
battle.
close. Good camera angle as well.
Oh, I think Jackie Losserman might be trying to get the lead here. It looks like he might have just... Oh, that wheel-to-wheel 3DSs, it looks like.
Here we go.
I think Master Lorang's trying to just sit back and say, you two have a little bit of a battle and I'll just take the places once you make a mistake. We'll have to see if they do that first.
It's brave going too wide up there in these cars, I'll tell you that. But
remember, guys, you need to get to the feature. That's the important thing. This is what we were talking about earlier on.
Well, that's it. If they don't make it, then
good move.
Get shot at the big points. Alex, you've seen a lot of, you've seen a lot of running in this car, these GT4s, with some of the work the team's been doing. What do you say is the key to sort of driving these cars from either your own experience or from what the drivers have been telling you?
Yeah, I mean, it's all really about the tyres. Tyres obviously go off quite a lot, and yeah, so if you can keep them in check, you're gonna have a bit of an advantage towards the end of the race. So just don't go out there, just don't be too aggressive with them, and the car kind of comes to it. Yeah, obviously the Porsche guys will have to deal with the car being 25 kilos heavier than normal at the moment, so that'll be a little bit tricky because, of course, again, it's going to eat through its tyres just a little bit more. So, but yeah, from what I can gather from the guys, just being really smooth is kind of the key with these cars. Oh, good battle going on further back, exchanging positions all over the place, side by side, too deep.
Yes, this is Lucas David, Marco Tolman, Alvar Gomez, who we are looking at there in the 214 car, and just behind him Andy Taylor as well. So this is a brilliant stuff going on.
Oh dear.
2 wheels in the grass there for Gomez, and he was very lucky to hold on to that.
Whoever that is, I think David was in the grass as well, twice in that sector, as this is side by side for 5th place. This is Matthias Bier and Ben Gregory.
BMW 1 is at stake here. It's almost like the days of Andy Priaulx versus Jürg Müller here, Germany versus Great Britain.
Looks like
good BMW reference.
Lorna's. Oh, they're having a battle again for the lead. Oh, bouncing around. Guys, do not wreck out.
Yeah, they don't need a lot of effort to qualify here, but of course they want to qualify as far forward as possible.
And look at Adam Tompkins just ever so slowly, gradually closing up to the back of them. He's only 0.6 of a second away from 3rd place.
Tompkins for the win. I'm just saying it now.
We've seen it before, Alex. I don't know if you remember that race that there was at it was Okayama that we did, where the top. Well, no, it was Monza, wasn't it? The top 4 people or top 5 people took each other out with 5 different leads on the last lap, so it's definitely possible.
There's an indication of the strength of field for you. So on average, the pro contenders have a 4.5 KI rating. A bit more closer to home for me, 1.8 K I rating for the drivers that are competing in the AM category.
Yeah, that's about about what you'd expect, I think. Some very good performances in the top 4, that's for sure. Big battle going on in the midfield. I mean, there's really a lot going on. There we go.
Here we go. This is Jonas Sager and
Around the outside, look at that. Silcock, is it?
The Kiwi fancies his chances at nabbing 8th place here, and he does so. So the Porsche coming on strong again, getting past one of the BMWs, and through he goes into 8th place. 3 places gain.
Yeah, that's nice for Mark Silcock. So Seeger is down into 9th.
You can almost hear them. The hands were almost turning to the right as he was going through the S. That's how much they're pushing through this section.
It's tough. I remember the first race we did, first race I did after this car came out, and Donington Park was the site for that one, and it was tough down the hill on the first couple of laps, Kranikovs, because he was doing things like that. What a good save that was, Alex.
Yeah, needed to. Vulnerable here though. We see car to the left in the wing rearview mirror. Leaves enough room.
Seger is going to be through then again.
Got to look at this battle at the front though. Heating back up, I think.
Boltnick is still going after his drive-through penalty in 21st. Denisov did retire after that spin, actually.
Oh, that's a shame. But of course, he will be in
I
the,
always urge people to keep going though, because
Yeah.
you never know what's going to happen. We say this all the time. We said this for years. You know, get to the end. You never know how many people might drop out.
Well, yeah, we went from outside the top 40 to getting a top 25 at the weekend.
Yeah.
Granted, there isn't 24 hours in this race for them to get
No,
those.
there isn't. There's more like 84 seconds or something left, but yeah, we've got look at this.
The lead. But Lona committed to the outside. Oh, he's very sideways there. Just about gets back on the circuit, and up the inside here goes Jackie Lotterman. Is Marcel going to try and follow him through as well? This is going to be very close.
Oh my word!
That's
How's
a
he done
big
that?
old
That's like one of
sideways
those.
moment.
Oh, Alex, that was like one of those stunt drivers who does those parallel parking stunts. That's how close they were to disaster. What's the quarter panelling like in these?
I couldn't tell you yet. We haven't seen one. So I'm assuming okay, but yeah, I bet it's not.
I bet it isn't either rear engine, isn't it?
Oh, what's going on with Edgar? Tom Edgar dropping down.
Oh dear, he's stuck.
Might be a broken suspension on the left, maybe. I'm not sure why.
Oh, the wheel's in the air. Look, I think the wheel was in the.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Oh, it's gone actually.
That's what it is.
Oh dear.
See if we can see what this was.
It might be literally in the air, Adam. I'll have to check that.
Free wide.
Oh, there goes the quarter panel. And there goes the wheel. I'm still surprised why you couldn't drive off the grass with one wheel, though. But there we have it.
Well, there's Jackie Losserman, who has managed to extend his lead at 0.6 of a second here, and looks set, barring any mishaps in the final 2 corners, to win the second heat race here.
Yeah, just 2 corners to go for Lotterman. He started second. He overhauled Moritz Lerner. And just the final corner for him to try and take the win, Adam.
Here we go. Through it he goes. It was the pole sitter that took victory in the first heat, but in heat 2, it's going to be the man who started second place, Jackie Lotterman, who flashes the lights in celebration, that wins heat 2 here and advances along with the rest of the top 16 into the main event itself. Here is Alvar Gomez, who has got a lot of cars behind him, including Andy Taylor, Daniel Antunes, Toby Ward and Benoit Holzer, all fighting for a spot in the top 16, and look at that, they're all within a couple of tenths of one another. Over the line they all go. 14th for Antunes, 15th for Toby Ward, and it looks like by a comfortable margin it's going to be Benoit Holzer that's going to come across the line for the Hypra Racing team and get that final spot to advance into the main event, and everybody behind him will be taking part in the consolation race.
he's happy with that. Flashing the lights as he comes across. The Frenchman, Loader misses out. But he will get another chance, like I say, in the consolation, the repechage, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, we're going to see that very, very shortly. But that was an entertaining race, Alex. We had good battles at the front. We had good battles in the middle.
What more can we ask for? You know, that's exactly what we want in these heat races. You know. So.
I think it's good that the field's split up a bit as well, because it does allow the races to develop a little bit. I sometimes think when you get the massive grids, if there were all 40 odd of them in one grid, then it might be a little messy. Now this could be the best race of the day, the consolation race. But I'll just take you through the results of Heat 2 first of all, before we get going. Jackie Lotterman takes the win.
Sorry,
Then
2 seconds. There we go.
He did do. There he is.
I'll press some buttons.
4/10.
We'll get it working again.
He takes the win for Prolog React Esports by 0.4 of a second over Moritz Lerner. Marcel Irang in third. Adam Tompkins in fourth. And then the winner of the AM category, Matthias Beer, in fifth. Ben Gregory was sixth. And then Mark Silcock in seventh. Jonas Sager, Joshua Jensen, Lucas David, Marco Tolman, Alvar Gomez, Andy Taylor, Daniel Antunes, Toby Ward, Benoit Holzer, Wolfgang Loader, Anders Hoyland, and then Dirk Reski in 19th, ahead of Tom Edgar, who was lapped, Ollie Boltink, and then the retirements, Tucker Martin, Dmitry Denisov, and Clemens Simon.
Now it's time to run you through the grid for the consolation race. 17 cars in this one. And according to Alex, the top 10, yeah, there's the 10. I wonder why it genuinely said 1 on my sim, but 10 people to advance through to the main event from this. And the top 10 on the grid, hoping to do just that, are Nick Dawes, Wolfgang Loader, Bradley Holst, as I should say, the odd-numbered cars are the ones that didn't make it from race 1, the even ones are the ones that didn't make it from race 2. Bradley Hulse in third, Anders Hoyland in fourth, Kip Stevens, there he is, in fifth, Dirk Reski sixth, Carl Jacquelet seventh, Tom Edgar eighth, and completing the top 10, Stefan Kalbrecht and Ollie Boltink. Scotty Angelo in 11th, Tucker Martin in 12th, 13th is going to be
I'm getting there. Sorry.
There we go. Sorry, no, my timing screen was wrong as well. Mark Heron, Dmitry Denisov in 14th, 15th, Andy Derrick, and then Clemens Sibon and Jacob Toffs. Derrick is going to get an end of line for the consolation. I'm guessing something he did in race 1. So he was already starting in 15th place as Andy Derrick, but he's going to be starting 2 places lower for this consolation race.
Yeah, so the totalitarian regime, that is the stewards panel, has put forth their first ruling, or the second ruling.
Yeah, I'm messing with those guys, clearly.
Oh, mate, no.
You know, they can't give us a penalty from in here. I'm pretty sure we've got admin control, you know, so we can show them. Yeah.
I'll just clear my black flag.
Yeah.
You join us in race 2, which I'm banned from.
He's going again, look.
Tom Edgar's also been sent to the back of the grid for this one, for obviously something he must have done in. So Andy Derrick and Tom Edgar both going to be starting at the rear of the grid for this one.
I'll just point something out before we get going. Bradley Hulse's connection is a disaster area by the looks of it.
I think that's what caused Brad the problem in the first race, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
He's got to sort that out, really, for the next one.
It is horrendous.
Give him a wide berth, guys. You're going to need it.
He's like a... Oh, dear. Well, it's not good. It's not good. It's what it is. So, but Nick Dawes on pole position. So how many go through again, just to remind everybody?
10.
And me. 10, not just 1. So 10 to go through. And this could be very, very good indeed, Adam, yeah.
And there you go, all 16 on your screen. There might be one missing, I'm not sure. Because there's 17 on the timing screen anyway. But let's get set to go then. It's going to be BMW 1, 2, 3 and Porsche 4, 5, 6. BMWs haven't won a race yet in this Apex Racing Academy GT4 series, and the lights are on and runs away, and it's Nick Dawes that's going to lead them across the line. Bradley Horse has got a good start. There he is. He's somewhere there. And Wolfgang Loader is now going to be heading into the first corner to try and make sure he doesn't hit him, more importantly.
This is going to be great for Nick Dawes, though, because they're all spinner. And that's Derek Hoyland, sorry, yeah.
Oh, there's a bigger one.
That's Jacqueline.
Oh, and is that...
No
oh,
break.
no. Yeah, who's that with the broken wheel? That was one of the BMWs as well.
Yeah, I think that was Carl Brecht with the broken wheel. Carl Jacqueline into the wall. Hulse trying to challenge Dawes. This could get interesting if... what must that be like to actually be racing? Surely it can't be great. As he's thinking about a look. Oh, is Edgar dropping down the order as well, I think, boys?
Oh,
that's why he's in the gravel.
Yeah, the gravel, which I think I knew well at the end of the Le Mans 24 hours.
Oh, that's going to be a big one.
It's somehow made it through, and it looks like the damage has managed to repair itself as well there on Dirk Reski's all-white car, and the lights are being flashed by Dimitri Denisov.
He's flashing the lights to probably say, "What are you doing?" And he's probably got good reason to say that. Oh, that's Carl Jacqueline. Oh, that's what's left of it, Alex. Anyway, dear me.
Fair chances for him as now Jacob Tops is a man on a mission, of course, because he was right at the very front in the first heat race, spun it at the left-hander, which we're coming up to now, retired, and is working his way up through the order nicely. 14 places gained in the first lap.
And this is why we have the consolation race, though, isn't it, gentlemen? Because, you know, you do always get that second chance.
Oh, who's that going
off goes Loader. Oh, that's a lot of places lost. He's still in the top 10 for now.
Got to get it going.
He's not getting up. He needs to get on with it, though. Has he hit the pit limiter?
Yeah, I don't know. It looks maybe he's got some damage or something. I don't know that.
Oh, maybe. But he was well off. And here we go then into turn 1. Reski and Scotty Angelo. I think that is. Oh, no, it's Denisov.
Yeah, it's these two again.
Oh, gosh.
End of the first lap then. It's Hulse that leads. Dawes in second, Jacob Tops in third, fourth Ollie Baltink, then it's Scotty Angelo, and then it's these lot.
Adam, how they got away with that nonsense on the straight, I've absolutely no idea. I thought they were going to be well and truly done for, but they survived it as that's Derek up the inside of Heron. So Andy Derrick for the Bumper Munchers sim racing team goes into 8th place.
Oh, we should definitely do a team name prize as well.
Yeah, we've already got the livery prize. There's some good team names in the split rear end for Le Mans, including Apex Racing Academy.
Yeah, Apex Racing TV.
Yeah.
Who we beat, by the way. Sorry, guys.
Here comes Denisov then. He's managed to finally get past Dirk Reski, and it looks like he's already starting to pull away this Odd Animal Bears car.
At times, I don't know how we beat them, but we did beat them. As this is Tofts, and already, Alex, up to 2nd place. Just made light work of Dawes.
Let's get that back on replay.
He did it early, Dawes, shall we say. Incident involving all drivers has been reviewed. What's that in aid of, I wonder? Oh, yeah, good move there.
I'm guessing that is our first lap.
Yeah, actually, yeah. They couldn't be bothered to type out the car numbers. I probably agree with them on that one. As that in the background is that Derek again? Derek going past Reski this time. So, or maybe not. Reski hits him.
Oh, someone's slow on the
right. Slow car.
That's Carl Brecht that's coming back out of the pits, it looks like.
Well, it's worth coming back out of the pits, as we said earlier on, though, isn't it, Adam? Because, you know, only takes a couple of retirements and suddenly you're in that heat final.
Indeed, yeah. And, Carl Brecht has been given a drive-through as well, so he's just come back out of the pits, and he's going to have to come back in the pits again
Go back in.
A drive-through penalty.
Oh dear! Not only did he have a broken wheel, then he has to. Oh dear! Now he's got to drive through the pits again.
Well, now this could be interesting.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, here comes Jacob Tops. He is was 1.2 seconds quicker than Bradley Hulse on that last lap. 57.7 for Jacob Toft.
Do we think that it's sensible for Toffs to just stay in second place, as he wants to make it through to the final, and passing Hulse is only going to give him one more grid spot?
Well, it's nice for us being up here to say that, but if you're lapping at such a, you're so much quicker than the car in front. It'd be almost impossible for you to sit where you are now for the remaining 4 minutes.
What do you think, Alex? I'm sure you'll have had to do this at some point. Just sit behind a slower car for, to just get a finish in.
Yeah, I mean, sitting behind a slower car is one thing, but when you can't see that car for 50% of the time, it's difficult. So, I mean, I'm sure the stewards will have a word with Bradley at the end of this meeting.
He races on Sunday nights, and I'm sure his connection isn't that bad on Sunday nights.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're almost on top of each other right now. I mean, we did see a crash earlier. He's not there more than he is there, so yeah.
I mean, going from the weekend, Adam, I know I had a couple of connection issues at the beginning of my stint, and it's not pleasant to drive like that. So I wonder if everything just seems fine if everything would just be fine on his screen or what, because I think Tofts is doing a very sensible thing, though. He doesn't need to win this race. It'd be nice for him to do so, but he knows that the big picture is going to be the final. As Hoyland goes up into 9th place, ahead of Rescue. I think Rescue might have had an issue, or maybe off because
maybe damage. Maybe after
he lost a second already to Hoyland.
He did hit the back of. He did hit the back of somebody, didn't he? There, Rescuers on the brakes there, Jacob Toft. And he's up the inside.
Oh, here we go. This is surely the chance now for Tofts.
Is Bradley going to let him go, knowing that he's got this problem? Yeah, I think maybe he did there. Yeah, I think that's good driving and fair. I mean, there's no reason why he should give up on his position and points in terms of the championship. Sometimes these connection problems are a pain.
Well, of course, there is a break, isn't there, between this race and the final? Is that right? So he could potentially go and try and get it sorted in the meantime, but yeah, you might as well book your place in the final if you can, as Scotty Angelo's off.
Come beat your brother or whoever is on the internet. Not sure what he's downloading right now, but give him a slap.
The Australian Angelo, Adam, has lost 2 seconds in quick succession. Oh, that was very close to the wall by Herod.
Yeah, it was coming for the final corner. Yeah, so at the moment, the car in 10th place is going to advance is there to Rescue, and he's got a 9-second buffer to Tom Edgar, so he can continue at the rate he's going, even if Tom Edgar is 2 seconds quicker. I don't think he's going to be able to catch him in the final 90 seconds that we've got of this consolation race. So I think he should be safe as long as he doesn't make any more mistakes.
Rescue's car is not quick though at all at the moment, as Andy Derrick's just got past Dmitry Denisov again, so they swap places. Ollie Boltink, P3, and yeah, this is going much better for him, Alex, isn't it, than the last race, of course?
Yeah, absolutely. So he'll be happy with that. Like you say, doesn't need to do anything too rash here. Just consolidate his position and should be in this feature race in 50 seconds done.
That's it. We're almost coming to the end. We'll be starting the final lap, Adam, in just momentarily. In fact, it's going to be fairly close. But I think Tofts probably will end up getting one more lap in.
Yeah, it should be, I'd say. Here's a battle, for 5th place. Andy Derrick in 5th and Dmitry Denisov in 6th place. This is a BMW v Porsche battle, something we haven't really seen too much throughout the course of the evening. It's usually been all clumped together, the Porsches and the BMWs, but Denisov trying to use the late race advantage that the Porsche appears to have, and he'll be helped even more by Andy Derrick putting 2 wheels into the grass on the exit of the boot section.
Toffs crosses the line with 1 second remaining, so there will be another lap here. 2 seconds ahead of Bradley Hulse. And Hulse is 4 seconds ahead of Bolting, so not going too badly for him. Denisov, I'd be surprised, really, Adam, if he does try anything on this final lap. But you know, you always want to try and get the best starting position you can for the final.
Of course, the positions will be reversed as well for this one. I think for the consolation people, with it only being the top 10 reverse, I don't think it will be any of these guys. But yeah, final lap of the race then. And these three are quite reasonably close. But here is one guy that has, well, been a brilliant race from him. 16 places gained for Jacob Toft. Started towards the rear, of course, after finishing low down in race 1 following a crash. But here he is, no such issues for him so far. And he's only got half a lap to go, and he will be advancing into the main event itself, which will be getting underway pretty soon, as he now has a 2.5 second advantage over Bradley Hulse, and he's going even quicker. He put in a purple final sector on that last lap.
Yeah, and he's certainly going to be a contender, I think, Alex, for the for some honours in that final. As there's, oh dear mate, it's still kicking off in the middle here.
It all just depends how quickly he can get through the pack, I think, because he's gonna, you know, he's gonna have a lot of cars to get through. It's gonna, yeah, that's gonna be the tricky part.
But he will be in, and that is
Oh!
half the battle. Goodness me. He's coming through the final corner now, though, almost, is Tofstana.
Well, here he is. He spun in the first heat, but he's going to win the consolation race here and advance through to the final. Jacob Tofts comes out of the final corner, and the Sim Sports News by iZone car Porsche GT4 wins here at Watkins Glen. Bit confused that the white flag's just come out, but as they've crossed the line. But this is definitely the checkered flag. Hulse in second, Ollie Bultink in third. Fourth is going to be Nick Dawes and Andy Derrick just behind him, just 800ths of a second behind him in fifth.
Yeah, good run by those guys. Sensible racing. Nick Dawes dropped down, didn't he, quite a lot in the last few laps, but that was enough for him to get through to the final. And then, so that's, Edgar finishes 10th, so he'll get in.
Typical BMW
Denisov,
driver. What can you say?
Denisov then had an issue at the end because he did his last lap, Alex, was 2:22.
Oof.
So can we see what happened with the Russian?
No, he went off.
Yeah, he was the Porsche that was in the middle of the action when we were just before we cut away to the. Well, here he is.
Ah.
On the outside. Oh, just a little spin. Yeah, like you say, I think it's gonna be all right though.
I don't know. He's 11th.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So I think.
Oh, get it. Yeah, just too friendly in terms of his rejoins there. So loses out by 1 spot.
I think if he'd have gone on that first, on the first one and got back on, he could have got back on safely, I think. But again, that's a learning experience for him, and that's something that I think the drivers will be working on as the weeks go on. Here's the results then for the consolation race. Jacob Tofts then with the win, 3.6 seconds ahead of Bradley Hulse. Ollie Bultink in third, Nick Dawes fourth, and then Andy Derrick fifth ahead of Mark Heron. Scotty Angelo in seventh, and Dirk Reske in excuse me, Dirk Reske in eighth. Anders Hoyle sorry. Anders Hoyle ninth, Tom Edgar 10th, Dmitry Denisov missing out in 11th, and then also eliminated Wolfgang Loder, Carl Jacquelet, Stephen Calbrecht, Kip Stevens, Tucker Martin, and Clemens Sebon. Not sure actually, Adam, that a couple of those guys actually even started.
I think they were all involved. Sorry to jump in there. Yeah, I'm sure they were all involved in that first lap shenanigans.
Mess.
Fair. Yeah.
Well then, now we've got a warm-up on our hands, a quick 5-minute warm-up just for the drivers who obviously haven't been racing since the first heat to get some miles back under their belt. and then we'll be getting set for the final, the feature race, which is 30 minutes or 20 laps, whatever comes first, and top 10 will be reversed.
Yeah, no penalty for Mark Heron after the contact with Dmitry Denisov. The stewards have ruled that one a racing incident. So that is the outcome of that one as we look at Martin Potocznik. And yeah, Alex, I mean, the academy is back, as we said, and I'm sure you mentioned a little bit at the top of the show about what's been going on so far, but we've got, just for people who just joined the broadcast now, you know, just give everybody a little taste of what's on offer.
Yeah, so obviously we're doing a whole bunch of data packs, 25 in total. So from open wheels, we've got some tin tops, GTEs, GT3s, the GT4s. We've got all the rallycross cars as well. So Peter's doing like the F3, the USF 2000, the Indy Pro 2000. Skip Barber's on there. So there is a whole host of cars as well. So IMSA, ILMS, VRS GT, and then the Michelin Pilot Challenge series, where obviously these GT4s are involved in. So yeah, there's so much going. Of course, new service, like you say, the guys are putting up hosted sessions throughout the week, so you can come in and ask all the pros a bunch of questions. So big Q&A session, really building up the community on Discord as well. We've partnered with VRS so that actually all of our data packs are hosted on the VRS website. So as a member of the academy, you can use the VRS tool, and you can, as well as compare against the VRS coaches, you can actually compare against our coaches as well. So all of those sessions are on there. But yeah, so they're private and exclusive to the academy members. Just everything seems to be going really well so far. Like I say, I'm loving the interaction that the community's giving us. A lot of great feedback. So really enjoying the work we're doing, and we're just going to basically just keep pushing it further and further, add more cars, more data packs and things like that as we go, and expand on the service. Of course, we've got our gold service coming up very, very soon. Just like I say, I'm really pleased with kind of how it's going. Early days, only 3 weeks in, just watch the space for more stuff soon.
And if anybody wants to sign up, where do they go to do this?
This is a very good question. Where do they go?
And how much is it as well? That's the other question.
Yeah, so they go to Apex Racing Academy, apexracingac.com. Let me see if I can bring up this graphic just here. There we go. There's the URL right there. And they head there. We've got two packages. We've got a bronze package, which is kind of like an entry level dip your toe, which is £5 per month, and you can pick a car of your choice. We've got the silver package, which is an eat all you can package. Gives you access to all of our data packs. Worth pointing out, you have to be a VRS subscriber of dedicated or above to access our data packs as well. So that's it. And actually, while we're on this subject, and while we've got a little bit of a lull, a little bit of a break, perhaps we'll head it over to our partners just to talk. They can have a little show and tell about their software solution as well.
Virtual Racing School was developed to provide support to the next generation of sim racers. No matter if you're a rookie or veteran or what car or track you'll be racing, our goal is to provide training every step of the way. We found that iRacing can be quite difficult without proper training. There needed to be a way to prepare for on-track racing. With VRS, you can literally learn from the best sim racers in the world, including 4-time NASCAR iRacing World Champion Ray Alfala.
And Ray Alfala is a 4-time champion of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze iRacing Series.
3-time iRacing Grand Prix World Champion Martin Kroenke.
Martin Kroenke becomes a 3-time world champion.
Rallycross World Champion Mitchell de Jong.
Mitchell de Jong is now champion for the iRacing Rallycross World Championship Series.
And many other top sim racers. Data packs include everything you need to start learning. Our World Championship coaches create the data packs by setting a hot lap or a series of fast laps for you to compare, analyze, and replicate. Data packs also include a tutorial where the coach points out techniques they use to hit the fast lap. This gives you access to the latest driving techniques and setups before you even hit the track. Sign up for a free account and download the VRS telemetry logger. With this application running seamlessly in the background, your laps automatically start syncing to the VRS website. From there, you can analyze and compare 2 laps of your choice, whether it's your data, the coaches, or your teammates. VRS will automatically target improvement opportunities so you can get up to speed even faster. VRS also makes it easy for you to request and schedule one-on-one or group coaching sessions. These sessions can range from 30 to 90 minutes, and you can select the car, track, and setup combination of your choice. Visit virtualracingschool.com today to sign up and get started.
And we're back for the getting set for the feature race here in the Apex Racing Academy GT4 VRS Super Series. And within a couple of seconds of us being back from the break, the stewards have already begun rolling up their sleeves by demoting Bradley Hulse to the back of the field. Not too sure what for. Might be the connection, I'm not sure. On that one.
The Baden hammer is well and truly being wielded. But yeah, Hulse, to be fair, it's pretty bad. It is a danger to other drivers. So hopefully he has sorted it out for this race. Looking at the grid for the final, Matthias Beer on pole position. He'll be ahead of Lewis Ward, Adam Tompkins in 3rd, Philip Johansson in 4th ahead of Marcel Arang, Isaac Hyatt in 6th with Moritz Lerner in 7th. Adrian Campfield is 8th with Jackie Lotterman 9th and Sasha Gorla in 10th. Lucas Bidon is 11th, Ben Gregory 12th, 13th for, I'm not sure if it's 13th, actually, Damien Harris. And then Mark Silcock in 14th, Tobias Burke in 15th, Jonas Sega in 16th, 17th Nathan Thomas, 18th Joshua Jensen, Jose Malbra 19th, and Lucas David in 20th. And the rest of the field will cycle through on the screen. And Adam, we are just about getting ready for the start, and Beer is on pole, and well, hopefully we'll be drinking to success by the end.
Let's see if he can do just that then. Last time around in Heat 2, we saw Moritz Lohner not go until the green lights came on. Let's see what kind of strategy Matthias Beer approaches here. It's a BMW and a Porsche on the front row for the feature race here in the Apex Racing Academy GT4 VRS Super Series. The green lights are on, and already the field springs into action. 3 wide in places, some places nearly 4 wide as they get on the brakes. And who's this coming through? That's Lewis Ward that's trying to get any action, plus Philip Johansson. He's already gained 2 spots right from the get-go here. And Matthias Beer has already raced into a 0.6 of a second lead as everybody tries to get through the S's without incident.
This is going to be the crunch now.
Come on, guys, make it through.
That was well done. Well done, at least by the top 20.
On the back straight we go. There's Ben Gregory.
Oh no!
Someone's been hit.
That's
Oh,
Lorna.
how on
That's
earth
Lorna.
has someone not hit Moritz Lerner there? And it all continues. There's a wheel in the middle of the track. It's been boinged off somebody's bonnet. And wow, a lot of different incidents all going on at once there. That is a massive shame for Moritz Lerner. The Williams Esports driver was up in the top 10, of course, after winning the second heat race. Sorry, for finishing well in the second heat race, but he's way down the order now.
Yeah, and that's... Oh, crash! Bang! Into the wall.
It's Irang. Bang.
It's a prank for Irang.
Yeah, that's a long wait as well for the field to come on by.
Oh, yeah. 41 of them.
Might be
see, as this is, we're looking at Johansson in second place, and the reverse grid helped him out very well as well. Beer is an AM driver, Adam, as well. Let's not forget.
Yeah, one of the drivers that have benefited from the reverse grid, of course. A top 10 reverse for the feature race, so he's very thankful for that, as he looks like he's going to come around the final corner to lead the opening lap. Philip Johansson, who very nearly goes into the tyre barrier there, remains in second. And then completing the podium positions at the moment, it is Lewis Ward, Tompkins fourth, Campfield fifth, up 3 places. Sasha Gorla, the winner of the first heat race very early on, he's up into 6th. 7th, Damien Harris, and it's Isaac Shea, Nathan Thomas, and Jackie Losman. Here is a replay of what happened to Moritz Lerner in the Williams Esports Cup. Oh, bang!
Lotterman hit him.
Was it Lotterman?
Was Lotterman?
Yeah.
Was it Lotterman that hit him? I think it was.
Luckily for him, it didn't get much worse with anybody else smashing into the back of him.
No.
Oh, it looked like Carl Jacquelet there also got hit just at the very end of that replay. Johansson has taken the lead. Has he? He has. There he is, up the inside into the carousel on the exit of the bus stop chicane. And is Lewis Ward going to follow him through in the Porsche? It looks like he might do so, but Matthias Beer, he might try and put up a bit of a fight here into the boot.
Around
Oh,
the
he did do.
outside.
Good
I
move
know
there.
you've always liked that corner, Alex, haven't you?
Ah, the
You've
shoot.
got a good move there, done any time.
I love the shoot. That's such a great corner. Just that, throw it in, let the camber kind of pull the car around, and just yeah, get on that gas nice and hard. To be honest, all the camber is on the very inside of the corner there. So to do that move around the outside is just even more impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I think Adam, we've all slithered off into the barrier, but have to try and take a wide line through there as well.
Yeah, it looks good. Sometimes it can look good at the beginning, and then as the barrier approaches on the outside, you're like, well, I'm not going to make it, am I?
and then you try to hit the brakes or lift off, and then it just makes it worse. And
someone's dropping.
Crash at the head of that one, the left-hander.
Yeah, Jackie Lotterman, who I think is towed back to the pits as a result.
Jones is off as well, I think.
Irang. Oh no, he's been in the pits for a while. Silcock potentially as well. So quite a few cars involved there.
Fastest lap, Gorla. It's Harris actually.
Oh,
in
someone
7th,
with a broken car as well in the replay.
Yes, Lotterman.
Oh, 2 into 1, didn't go.
That was never going to work in a million years.
Perhaps a bit of frustration from the early lap, thinking the inevitable was going to come.
Here we go then.
It's Lewis Ward.
It's only 3 wide.
And here is the fight for spots outside the top 10. This is Biron, Potoknik, and also Alvar Gomez.
Yeah, we're looking at Martin Potoknik. Live footage.
Of course, it's worth pointing out, if you want to feature on the broadcast, then get your webcam set up and give me a shout, and we'll give you the link, and we'll get you working. Really, really simple. No software needed, just a URL. Stick in the password, and away you go.
There's Biron.
Picture there. Oh.
The car did not look too healthy for a second there. That's the one thing about the new damage model, isn't it? It can trick you into a false sense of disaster.
My favourite livery as well on Biron there. Oh, as he tries to block an advance there. And here's another gaggle of cars.
That's Gold trying to make his way through. Oh, and that's Tompkins. Tompkins spins.
It's going to be there for a while, I reckon.
Yeah, unless he can spin it, turn that traction control off and spin the car, it's going to be a long old way.
Yeah. He's dropping down out of the top 20. It's unlucky. Johansson, though, leading the way. Half a second lead, but as we know, Adam Watkins Glen, I think it's very tough to break away, as we said many times already.
We go up through the S's. We are just over 5 minutes through the feature race, and here is Lewis Ward, who did try to get by Johansson on the previous lap, but no such chances of getting through that. There, a third of a second advantage for Johansson. The Swede has finally managed to make it to the front. He's done quite a few overtakes in his heat race, and now he's got his chance of actually leading. And for the first time, we've actually got a BMW at the front here after the 2 heat races.
I'm impressed with how hard these guys are pushing these GT4 cars.
Oh yeah,
Pretty new cars to the service, especially the BMW's only a couple of weeks old, and yeah, these guys are absolutely wringing the necks of them. Doing a great job. Johansson, he's got a job on to defend here, I think, from Ward. Ward looked quick early on in the previous race, of course. No move into the heel. Maybe into this left-hand hairpin. We saw Lotterman try and fail in there, but in fairness to Ward, he's a lot closer to him. Toffs is up to 16th, by the way, Jacob Toffs, and 33rd on the grid, Alex. We said he could move forward. It would depend on how he got through the pack. It's only taken him 4 laps to do half the work.
Yeah, up 17 spots already. That just goes to show. Of course, his teammate was doing very well and had that accident just a couple of laps ago. But yeah, so he needs to do the business for the Sim Sports News by his own team.
Yeah.
But he's got a nice little gaggle ahead of him that I think, you know, he can make some moves on. A whole bunch of BMWs, so it's not going to be easy. Let's go on board actually, because like I said at the start of this broadcast, I did say that I felt the BMWs were a bit faster in a straight line, and I think we can see that already. They sort of pulled away initially, but much better line through the entry of the S's. Will the draft be enough?
Well, it looks good. It says "Git" on the back of the car on my screen.
Yeah, it does.
So, up the inside into the bus stop. I was about to say it's quite an easy defence there, being that far ahead, but
Oh, good move.
I guess not.
Yeah, Porsche showing where it's strong on that braking. I mean, it's so small compared to these M4s. It's not even the M8. It's not even the big boy. Yet this thing still looks massive in comparison to this this Cayman. Poor little thing.
Lucas
Oh,
David
he's
there
making
was,
more moves as
getting-
well. Great job.
Oh man, he's like slaloming through them, Adam, as
Oh,
that was Tolman trying to get through, I think, as well. Battle for the lead is intensifying as well.
Round the outside.
Ward round the outside. My goodness.
That's a great move. Oh, the inside. How
Oh,
optimistic
right.
do you like it? That's Adrian Campfield. Wow, that is a brilliant move up the inside. Can he hold on to it though? Because Johansson is going to power back around the outside, and he takes the place back. Fantastic racing between the two Beamers.
Couldn't quite keep that momentum up. Jackie Lotterman, 2 drive-throughs, dear me.
Well,
Buy one, get one free, I think, on that one. Special from Sam Fitzpatrick.
not many drive-throughs have been open during this lockdown, but
Well, that
Optimus
one is
just
for
found
him.
himself doing it. Yeah.
They like him so much, they want him back. Oh, dear. Now, can Johansson claim the lead back from Ward? Let's see how the slipstream takes effect this time. It's very strong, isn't it, in these cars? But we do... I said the bus stop chicane comes up quickly, Adam, to ruin people's dreams, I think.
That's going to be the case. Credit to the BMW though, of Johansson. He was able to
Here,
close in
though.
quite a bit. Here is Sasha
Gawler.
Gorley.
He's having a go at Campfield.
I haven't really talked much about him in this one. Of course, he won the first heat race of the day. Started towards the rear of the top 10 thanks to the reverse grid. And here he is up 6 places, trying to make it 7. Tom Edgar's been given a 30-second stop and hold as well by race control.
Yeah, I didn't quite see what that was for. But penalty nonetheless. You're right about the size difference between these two. Dear me, it's like when he's buried. He probably, that's why he probably got such a good slipstream, to be fair. He's just buried under the rear wing.
Behind.
A little semblance of a look from Damien Harris there, and we know just how quick Damien Harris can be.
He's very good in a front-wheel drive car, and he's proven to be pretty capable in the rear-wheel drive car as well in the BMW. Here is Damien Harris. We're on board with him in the Evo SR car. We've got a decent view of what gizmos and gadgets you've got inside this BMW M4 GT4. Looks like there's an AC button there. It's just in front of him. Sasha Gorley tries to get Mike Canfield.
Yeah, even having a look in the final corner, which is not really a place that you normally see very many overtaking moves. Gorley though, seems like he's Canfield ahead of Johansson. And Gorley ahead of Johansson.
Oh no, the Swede. Oh, that's close.
Swede being made to look like a turnip there, sadly, for him. But he's going to try and fight back. Oh my word, banging out wheel arches in the S's.
Way, this could all end in mash. But then into the bus stop, and it's not over. Oh well.
Oh, he's done a great move there to come back.
Across the grass they go as well, and Johansson, he may have lost second place to Canfield, but he made jolly well certain that he didn't lose that spot.
Slow down, because he just took too much of the grass, didn't he, on the chicane?
Yeah.
He's gonna have to do it all again. He's got time.
Yeah, we're just about approaching the halfway mark of this race.
Suddenly, for him though, that looks like a lot of cars to pass on, doesn't it?
Yeah, these Beamers are quite big to get around, aren't they? Here is Alvar Gomez. He has got Jonas Seeger behind him, and in front of him is the yellow and black car of Jensen Adriansens for Indy Autosport. So we've got a nice free car BMW scrap, and just in front of him, in front of Jensen, is Jacob Toft, who has now gained 22 places to be within sight of the top 10.
Problem is, he can see the top 10, but he's not particularly close to it. He's still 4 seconds behind. Well, he was. He's two and a half seconds behind Burkett, and then another 2.5 seconds to Biron. So, in fact, there is Biron and Burkett. So it's not a small task for Jacob Toffs. Ward's got the gap up to 1.2 now. So Alex, it looks like he's starting to actually get clear and break away a little bit.
Yeah, I think so, and I think that is why you had like such Grok trying to get us through as quickly as possible, because he knew that Ward was going to break away. We saw obviously in the first of the heat races, you know, the tyres sort of come into their own about that 15 minutes. This is where the Porsche starts to be strong. So I think he's going to have a good opportunity to get past these cars, but it's going to be difficult to try and catch Ward.
How many of those 4 BMWs in the top 5 are going to be there by the end of the remaining 16 minutes? That could be interesting to see. Of course, Gorley did try to get by and was in the process of getting by some of those BMWs earlier, but then has been shuffled back.
Potocznik has just made up a place, so he's going well in 17th. If we've butchered the pronunciation, please tell us, by the way, we always ask. The man with the onboard camera, the rig-mounted camera, shall we say. Then ahead of him is David and Tolman. Joshua Jensen is in 18th place. One of the few Americans in the field, but here's Potocznik. We can see him at work. All looks calm, madam, at the moment.
Yeah, in fact, most of the scraps in the field are in the top 10, pretty much. I think that's probably the closest battle we've got at the moment as the BMWs continue to circulate here. Just in front of Potocznik is Lucas David for Hyper Racing Team and Marco Tolman.
It's interesting, by the way, Alex, he keeps looking up. Do you think he's got another display maybe with
he has, yeah, he sent
temperature information?
He sent a picture, it's got a 4th screen up there, like you say. I think he's actually running our SDK live timing software, so it's nice to see. So
he looks like he's looking quite high up though, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm like when I look at my 4th screen as well. I'm like, this really could be a little bit lower. So
you're sat very low down though, aren't you? That's the thing. But But yeah, he's going in his 17th place, so you know, maybe a chance for a couple more places for him, as this is the battle for second hotting up again. And Adam, you sense that one of them really has to try and make a move towards Ward if they're going to try and reel him in. But if they're battling, it's going to be difficult.
Well, yeah, the gap's already 1.9 seconds, and last time around, Lewis Ward was 6 tenths of a second quicker. So, if Sasha Gorley wants his chances to win this one, and you'd expect he would, then he'd like to get by his BMW sooner rather than later. But they are proving to be quite the difficult task to get around. The BMWs have been using their sheer size to their advantage. We saw that earlier when Sasha tried to get by. But yeah, he's got quite a challenge on our hands. We're yet to really see the Porsche advantage, at least with Sasha anyway, come to the fore in the red face racing car.
Who's going to be red-faced at the end of this one? Gawler. Well, we know he's got the pace. We know he can overtake. We need to make quick work of these guys here. I mean, it's not going to be easy. They're very, very accomplished drivers. Toffs is up into the top 10 as well, by the way. He's just working on Lucas Biron, the Canadian, at the moment. But yeah, on board with Gawler. All looks pretty neat and tidy, Alex. It's not too frantic in there.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at it, it definitely seems like, you know, initially getting that grunt out of the corner. That's where the BMW is in, but the Porsche seems to be able to carry just a little bit more speed through the corners. So yeah, I think it's going to be difficult to get by, because I feel like Watkins is a bit of a, you know, it is a track where you need a lot of grunt. He's going to have to capitalise on these guys having a little battle, and of course there is a little battle going on just ahead of him right now. Side by side. Oh, there's a place. Surely. Oh, watch the rejoin. Oh, sideways, catches it, sort of. Needs a few attempts at it. But that is, that's Beer down, Matthias. Unfortunately, it's not out of it yet.
He will have a slowdown with Johansson, Adam, and I think he's managed to serve it without getting overtaken by Beer.
I was very worried then he was going to spear across the pack and take a few extra people with him there, so that was good car control there. Anders Hoyland has been given a drive-through penalty. So where is he currently at the moment, Hoyland? He's down in, this is slick, he's somewhere, and he's been given a
Toffs is gone. Toffs is off, I think. He was just trying to make a move up into 8th place, and I think he's come a cropper, Alex. Take us through it.
Yeah, let's have a look. You can see, yeah, Eager up the inside. Oh, that is pushing it somewhat. I'm not sure that was necessarily on.
Did he hit the curve on the way in as well? Oh, that's Adrianson.
Yeah, just finishes the Porsche off.
Do you think he hit that curb when the curb started, and it might have just
might have done, but
yeah,
might have done.
The door mirror as well.
No.
I think when you are literally going into a right-hand corner and you're on the right-hand, you know, we're talking about him perhaps hitting the right-hand curb. You know, I think there's at some point you think, I'm not going to come out well with this, and you've got to kind of got to pull out. Yeah. But I do understand. Obviously, you know, you think you got the inside line, so you think, well, I should be owed a little bit of room as well. So there is two chains of thought. So we'll see perhaps what the officials think of that. Of course, there is 3 of them to decide. So yeah, we'll see how they feel.
Yeah. It seemed that it was like similar to. It looked like it was a bit 50-50, but we'll see.
Sasha Gorley through into 3rd place there. He was at the inside of Damien Harris at the first corner. It's almost like with the Porsches and the BMWs, the motorbikes trying to get by the big cars on the motorway or something, trying to weave through the lanes there. And yeah, before Jacob there, for the 2nd time tonight, he's been involved in a contact. Here's Andy Derrick for the Bumper Munchers sim racing team. He is in. I
think Alex just wanted an excuse to put that back on the screen again. Oh, off goes.
Well, not really, because he's the biggest mover of the field now that we lost Toffs, and I think that might. No, it wasn't another place. That was a back marker. It just went through. But yeah, so great job from him. I'm seeing on the chat. We've got some fans, obviously, letting us know that he was up from 37th, and to 19th. Yeah, 18 places. Great job from Andy.
Toffs, Adam, he's still got a chance of becoming the biggest mover in the field, but he is down to 18th place now. So, and with damage, it's going to be quite difficult, as this is Gawler. Then who's cruised up to the back of Campfield pretty quickly, and it's only 2.5 seconds between he and the lead. And if you remember in Heat 1, he was 2 seconds ahead with half distance to go, and then he extended the lead to nearly 6 seconds. So definitely possible for the Belgian.
See what he can do here, and he's really looking eager to get by Adrian Campfield here. So eager that he almost thinks about a move up the inside into the beginning of the S's. Up the hill we go. Just under 8 minutes to go as well. Are we going to see a move into the bus stop chicane? Very close as always, as everybody has been to the Armco barrier there on the exit of the S's.
Yeah, the move up the inside into the S's is certainly parental advisory, explicit overtaking, I think. But Gorlak, that was much more clean cut and much more textbook. Oh, say that, he loses the rear on the way out and very nearly in trouble, Adam. But he managed to gather it all up as Campfield is quite close to the back of the Cayman.
Yeah, he might fancy his chances up the inside here. Is he close enough? No. Just think about it though. But Sasha Gourlay does close the door. Lucas David has just dropped down to 15th place. It looks like he's been overtaken by Josh Jensen. He's up into 14th. But now Sasha Gourlay's task is to close down the 2.2 second gap to Lewis Ward. Last time around, he was 0.6 of a second quicker than the race leader. And now that he's in a bit of clear air, this could be pretty interesting.
Yeah, Hoyland came into the pits and served his drive-through penalty. Silcock's in the pits as well, so I don't know what that's for exactly, but yeah, Alex, 2 seconds for Gawler. Can he do it, do you think?
Oh, I think it's possible. Looks like he's got the pace. He showed it in the heat race 1. Very quick. So yeah, this could be a bit of a nice little finish to the meeting. Oh, that's close as well. That was Burker and Seeger, I think.
Yeah.
Carl Jacolette around right in the background of the shot there. At the top of the hill, he was around at the carousel. But look at this. This is fantastic action. This is liquid GT4 racing as Jonas Sager and Tobias Burker go at it. And who's this trying to get up the inside?
Well,
Let's go, then.
If it's liquid racing, we've had it well and truly injected into our veins today, and we've enjoyed every minute of it. And look at that. Up the inside then for Gomez.
Oh, I'm coming straight back.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's drifting. Oh.
Oh, wow.
Dear me, he was a bit a little bit erratic there, but I think he got away with it. Did Burkett?
Last time around, 59.6 for Ward, another 58.9 for Sasha Gourlay. So the gap's down to under a second now. Well, it was under a second. It's gone back up to 1.1. But there you can see it on the relative. And if he continues at the pace he's going, Sasha, I think it should be under a second by the time we get round to the end of this lap. He's going to have just under 5 minutes to go to try and mount some sort of attack.
Yeah, down to less than a second. He really must be preserving the tyre as well. I mean, he had that incident earlier on which dropped him down. Let's not forget, Alex, he got up to, I think it was 3rd or 4th, and then he dropped down to 8th again, and then he's fought back and he's done it all again.
Yeah, really showing the pace he's got out there.
Ward's not going to be an easy customer though, Adam. I think he 7k, I reckon.
I mean, that might explain a little bit as to why he's so fast.
Yeah,
you don't get that by accident, exactly, yeah.
I've been trying for 6 years to get there. I haven't even got an A licence.
Don't worry, Adam, I was in the World Championship and I never hit 7k either, so I think about 6.3 I think was about as far as I got.
That's it.
Well,
and
yeah, he was a second quicker on that last lap. He's got them in 5
but
seconds a second.
Ward showed that he can overtake, he showed that he can defend. He made I think, a great move around the outside earlier on. So, you know, he's not going to be a pushover. And why should he be as well? We've got about 2 laps to go. Alex, there's nothing stopping him just defending for his life here now.
Exactly, couple of laps, yeah, really go for it. They've got enough of a gap behind them that they can be, you know, they can lose some time battling. So, yeah, I think you've got to defend your position where you can. You've got to make it really difficult to get through. You know, you could win this opening race of the championship. And I have to say, my OCD kind of likes it. He was first to sign up to the series, as I said earlier on, and if he remains top on the list, yeah, that's good for me.
Is just to remind everybody, what's the points? You know, what would be the points difference between the two, first and second?
It's a good question. I need to look at the rules to confirm because I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head. But I will bring them up on screen in a second.
But whatever difference that is, though, Adam, is going to be important, of course, on the first meeting of the season.
Yeah, it is, and with it only being a 5-round championship,
4 points.
most of which is taking place in North America, it's going to be very important.
Oh, sorry, it's 4 points in the heats. It's 8 points in the feature.
There you go.
60 points for the win, 52 for second, and 48 for third.
And a reminder of where we're going to in this championship. We start out today at Watkins, Glen. After that, we head to Silverstone Grand Prix next week. Then we head to Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, Lime Rock Park, and then we end the season in Road America.
Here we go then. Go there with a good run out of the first corner. This could be the time for him, but it's going to have to be pretty spectacular, I think. Oh, he's giving him the inside. Now, I can't.
Straight through. Yeah. He wants just to doesn't want to.
That is surprising.
You know, I see the sense in that as well, because, you know, you can battle and you can lose a really strong position. And Ward probably, you know, he's thinking, well, this is, you know, I'm not going to throw away a second place in what could be, you know, tricky championship. It's only short 5 rounds, and consistency could get you the title at the end of it. So
It's true.
Smoothness is key.
Bigger picture, perhaps, there in the driving.
Adrian Campfield is through into third, by the way. I think he's just got past Damien Harris. Yeah, there you go.
I'm just a bit disappointed from our point of view that we didn't get to see a scrap. Yeah. Maybe Ward is thinking I'm gonna do him up the back straight in the on the last lap. He might be thinking, well, if I can stay within half a second, which he's just outside now, he might have a sniff, but oh yeah, he's gonna have to really nail these last 2 corners of this lap to get any kind of run, as this is Gomez and Seeger. And you know what? The BMW is so big, the Porsche was hidden behind them. I didn't even see it.
Bad news for Andy Derrick fans. Jacob Toffs is now back in the position to be biggest mover in the field. He's up into 13 places. On the inside goes the Porsche there.
Gomez has done a good job of that as well. 14 positions gained from where he started. So tremendous work there by the Spaniard. On the inside.
Is that damage? No, I think we're okay. That's just our little fictional suspension damage. I should hope the BMW doesn't break that quickly. That would not
for
be.
The road users, if yeah.
I was about to say that would not be German engineering at its best there. That's for sure.
Yeah, the wheels do tend to stick on in these cars most of the time. You don't see that on the motorway every day. Final lap then.
Final lap, yeah. Oh, Harris with the wheel on the grass, and Campfield trying to take advantage, as he has done so many times so far today.
David, on the line.
10 positions gained, Adam. He's doing a great job out there.
Well, Harris, he takes the podium spot. Watch out for Johansson as well. He was once up in those podium places. He would like to get right back in and amongst it, but Damien Harris has just taken that third place back, and he wants to make sure he keeps it. He covers the inside line into the right-hander. It's all going to be about the run on the exit, which is quite incredibly powerful. But here is our race leader.
Well, he got up. He made quite a lot of positions at the start, and he had an incident which moved him back down, as this is Campfield and Harris still battle for the bubbly. 3rd and 4th. Johansson in 5th. But Gawler, well, Adam, he's going to cap this meeting off in 5-star.
Indeed he is. He won the first heat race. He fought his way through after the reverse grid for this one. He's going to come through the final corner now. He's going to whiz past our camera. There he goes. And the checker flag is out. And the feature race and 60 championship points go to Sacha Gawler. He wins. Lewis Ward will finish in 2nd place after leading for so long. And Damien Harris is going to complete the podium as a flurry of beamers fly across the line.
Yeah, great stuff there. Really, really good. Battling in the top 10. Paul Sitter Beer finished 7th in the end. Here's Tolman. And can he stay ahead of Toffs coming out of the final corner? It'll be reasonably close, but Marco Tolman, the American, he's going to finish in 11th place on home soil. This is close as well. Jensen Thomas, 3,000s, I think, Adam, that time.
Very, very close there at the end, wasn't it? There is Andy Derrick. He comes home in 19th place. And now here's Ben Gregory. He won the ARLTC on a controller.
Yes, and he won the ARLTC on a controller as well.
Did he? I don't know. Oh, off in the wall. It's
Oh no!
a problem for Daniel Antunes, the Spaniard, backwards into the wall. He's lost his rear wing, but that won't stop him from getting across the line in what looks like a Vorsteiner liveried Porsche there over the line.
Lucky for him, he's about 20 seconds ahead of the next drivers. But they're still going for it, actually. This is Jose Malbran. He might just nick this one off of Bultink on the line. He does, the Argentine. Through. And yeah, he takes that one. That's good performance. Good performance to keep going and try and get that position on the final corner. Mark Silcock, well, he had a pit stop, I think, and not sure what that was for. Might have been a drive-through, but ended up coming across in 30th position.
And that is the last bit of on-track action. So let's get the finishing results up on the screen. So, yeah, take it away.
Yeah, so Gawler with the win. 1.5 seconds was his gap in the end over Lewis Ward. Made it look a bit easier than actually was in the end. He was up, down, and up again. As there is we're just getting notification of Jonas Seeger, the Swedish driver, was originally given a drive-through penalty, but it's been converted to a 30-second post-race penalty. So for Seeger, he was 13th, but that's going to drop him down to probably about 29th, 30th place. So Gawler ahead of Ward, then Harris in 3rd. Great battle with Campfield in the last 5 minutes. Philip Johansson in 5th. Isaac Giant in 6th. Matthias Beer in 7th. Lucas Biron 8th. And then Alvar Gomez 9th. And Tobias Berker in 10th. Michael Tolman was 11th ahead of Jacob Toffs. We saw that finish. Joshua Jensen ahead of Nathan Thomas. Lucas David in 15th. Martin Podoshnik in 16th. Jensen Adriansens in 17th ahead of Andy Derrick, who, like I said, in 18 places. Great race for Derrick ahead of Andy Taylor. Ben Gregory was 20th and Toby Ward was 21st. 22nd, Adam Tompkins. Mark Heron in 23rd. Nick Dawes, 24th ahead of Seeger after his penalty. Daniel Antunes in 26th. Then Jose Malbran just pipping Ollie Bultink. And then Benoit Holzer, 29th, 30th, Mark Silcock, and then one lap down, Scotty Angelo, Jay Steffi, and Mark Jones. Paul Clist was 34th. Anders Hoyland retired in the end, and as did Radoslav Dangov, Tom Edgar, and Dirk Reski. And I think there were 3 more at the bottom. Yeah, there were Irang, Lotterman, Lerner, and Hulse as well, of course, who I think in the end, Adam, elected not to start the race.
He did, yeah. We saw the last we saw was Tim getting sent to the back of the field, and I wonder if
he posted in the YouTube chat actually to say that his connection was just so bad that he felt like he couldn't run.
There you go. I've got a feel for Morris Lerner. I did see his tweet after his retirement from the race. He did well in Heat 2, but was hit at the rear by the guy that finished just in front of him, Jackie Lotterman, early on. Lotterman didn't go much further, really.
Well, we've seen it happen at this track in the past. I mean, Alex, how many times have we seen that kind of clumsy sort of punting incident in the first couple of laps of Watkins Glen?
Yeah, I mean it is tricky. I mean I think that's where the bus stop does sort of open up another opportunity for it to happen because it's so tight going into there and it is a relatively big, large braking zone because of the speed that they're carrying up there. So cold tires, and I'm sure Jackie didn't mean to do it. It was a definite mistake, but yeah, just a bit unfortunate, and Paul Moritz took the brunt of it, and yeah, that caused him to retire right there and then, unfortunately.
Do we have time for an interview before we go? I think we've got Damien Harris waiting
Yeah,
to chat to.
we have got Damien, so let's bring Damien in.
Well, Damien, welcome to the commentary box.
Hello, nice to speak to you all again.
Well, it was a good start to this new season for you then. A fantastic scrap between you and a couple of us on the final lap there to get a podium. Well done.
Yeah, you know what? I did not expect that at all. After race one, I went into my settings on my steering and my brakes, and I made a few alterations. I wasn't happy with the way it was locking up slightly into corners, and it worked. I didn't expect from 13th on the grid, and people started crashing out in front of me, and things were doing, things were going my way. But yeah, I mean, third is my first race in a proper race in a GT4 is not too bad at all. To be fair, I'm chuffed, to be honest.
Well, we're used to seeing you in front wheel drive cars on a Thursday
Yeah.
night. Switching over to the rear wheel drive, how was that? And was there anything from the ARLTC on a Thursday that helped you out there at all?
You know what? It's the hustle and bustle in the first few laps. I mean, that is always something you need to sort of experience, and that's something you definitely get in the touring car league, especially. Driving the M4, I did notice it's almost as if driving a rear wheel drive TCR. It's very, very similar. So I think the transition from one to t'other wasn't too difficult. I mean, I had a few practice laps here and there, but this is the first race in anger, and yeah, I'm really, really happy with that performance. Yeah, chuffed.
What was it like against the Porsches out there? I know that the
Yeah.
organisers tried to balance it up a little bit. Though they're much smaller than you in size, but they seem to make up for that in speed.
I think coming the end of the straight after turn 2, 3, we were catching them up. I think the Porsche was better on tyres, a lot better on tyres, able to hold their tyres more. I also think corner exit, especially mid corner, they were definitely gaining on us. I think it might be the sort of the mid-engine sort of aspects of that, but yeah, at first the BMWs, I mean, I was never going to catch, I don't think, Sasha. But yeah, there is a difference. Hopefully it changes in the next few weeks. But yeah, I'm not going to use that as an excuse. The guys at the front did well. Congratulations to them. And yeah.
Next week, Silverstone Grand Prix.
Yeah. Looking forward to that. It's another track I do like. Let's see. I've gone in with a bit more experience. Let's see if the gap between the Porsches and the BMWs is a bit more even there. But let's hope.
There we go. Well done today. Before we let you go, do you want to send a quick shout to anyone?
Yeah, just a quick shout out to Evo SR and Racing for today. Great team, great bunch of guys. I'd like to say a big well done to Adrian Campfield as well, because I know he was pushing hard for that third, and I know him I'd speak to him outside of this league as well. So he's done a very good job there in fourth place as well. So yeah, well done to everyone today. It was a great race.
Oh, you guys put on a great show at the front. And,
yeah, glad we could help.
No problem. And yeah, thanks a lot for coming to speak to us today.
No worries, anytime. No worries. Speak to you soon, guys. Take care.
Well, Damien Harris there, and really strong performance, Adam, and we're really looking to kind of to continue that one throughout the league, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, he was at Watkins Glen a couple of weeks ago in the ARLTC. They were on the cup layout, but he's proven his worth on the boot section, the full layout here today. And if we have time before we go off the air, I do think we even have our winner willing to have a quick word.
Yeah, let's have a little. Yeah, let's have a little look. Yeah, we do have Sasha Gola. So Sasha joins us in the commentary box. First of all, can you hear us?
Hello.
Hello. Well, what a race that was for yourself. You know, you started in 10th place. You did a lot of work at the beginning, and then you had to do it all again. Take us through it.
Yes, it was a very difficult race, but really fun. I am completely wet. Yes, I have been a little bit lucky that Moritz and the other Porsche crashed at the beginning because I think they were really fast. And yes, after I tried to be a bit patient, but it's not difficult. It's difficult, sorry. And then yes, in the middle of the race, I took a slowdown at the bus stop, and I had to do it again. But the other competitors were really fair and don't try to block me too much. So
Well, of
it was
course,
good.
yeah, we didn't mention tonight that it is one of the hottest days of the year so far in most of Europe, I think. So yeah, it's not the not the easiest conditions to do a few races in these GT4 cars. Well, did you enjoy the heat format, Sasha? And is it something that you've done before?
No, it's the first time I experience two heats with reverse grid for the main race, and yes, it brings a lot of fun because a lot of fight, and yes, it was really hard to come back because the BMW are really fast at the beginning of the race, and then after a few laps, I think the Porsche were faster in the corners, but in the straight, the BMW have good top speed, so it's really tricky. Yes, so the format is a very good idea, and I enjoyed it.
Well, a great start to the season, certainly for yourself. Do you want to give any shout outs, any call outs to sponsors, friends and family, things like that?
Yes, of course. Thank you to Red Face Racing, who are supporting me. Yes, it's a very kind and cool team. So thanks to all of them,
All right,
and to
perfect.
you, of course, for the broadcast and the good idea of this championship.
Oh well, we'll give you the money later. Thanks very much. But yeah, well, thanks for joining us in the box, and we'll see you at the next one.
Yes, for sure. I will be there and try to have the same fun than today. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you,
Bye bye.
Sasha Gola there, and well, Alex, he's certainly showed his mettle today, didn't he?
Uh, yeah, absolutely, and why he's got that sort of 7K I rating, so really strong pace in the heat race, and showed that if you have a bit of patience in that reverse grid race, that feature race, you can get to the front. Obviously, there's a bit of chat going on in the drivers' chat on Discord at the moment. Of course, a few drivers caught up in incidents, and kind of like I said at the start of the meeting in my sort of announcement post, there was going to be some accidents today. There's no way of avoiding it. You guys have never raced each other before in like a
Yeah.
league lineup as a crew. This format is totally unique. Sometimes we have TCR cars in there in the IMSA Michelin Pilot Challenge. So yeah, completely different. And do you know what? As I said, I saw some great racing tonight. Those first few laps on the heat races as well. We made it through in what is arguably one of the toughest tracks of the season for a clean first lap, just because of the way the cars bounce back onto the circuit here at Watkins. So that was a great start. Just always remember what I said. We've all made mistakes in the past. You've all wrecked someone. You've all been wrecked. You'll wreck someone else again in the future. You guarantee
Someone
it.
else will wreck you again in
And
the
someone
future.
else will wreck you as well in there. So just let's give everybody the benefit of the doubt and stuff like that. Yes, things happen. We just kind of have to take it on the chin and enjoy the racing for kind of what it is. And we'll come back next week and we'll we'll try and hope for the best that we stay out of it. But just let's always remember, just in the chat, let's always respect our fellow league members as well. I want to build a really good community with this league and have good banter and stuff like that. So nothing wrong with a good bit of banter and stuff like that. And there's nearly 60 guys here, and if we can build a great environment for us all racing this GT4 car, which we seem to love, then that's kind of my intent. So just let's just give each other a little bit of respect in that Discord. Thank you.
Yeah, don't make us send a message to Sam Fitzpatrick to give you penalties for foul and abusive language and things like that. We don't, well, because he will give them out. Last time I raced with him, Adam, I called him all sorts. But no, Adam, that was we had a lot of fun tonight, didn't we? That was a great meeting in the GT4 Super Series.
Plenty of on-track action as well, because I know with other leagues, obviously we have to wait for new sessions to go up and whatever. But with this, we were getting the checkered flag and getting straight into another race. So plenty of on-track action for us to enjoy, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen at Silverstone next week. I love that track.
And also great to be with Alex again, of course, in the commentary box.
Thank you.
Always a lot of fun. Brings back some great memories of the of over the years, anyway.
I mean, we've done so many. We've been talking about wanting to do another one for a while, and it's great that it's one of our own series that we're doing on. So Tuesday night, a different night for us as well. It's always normally been Thursdays.
That's it. So Adam, yeah, I'll leave it to you. Sign off.
Great. Well, hope you've enjoyed all of the action today on the Apex Racing TV YouTube channel. If you have enjoyed it, please smash the like button and press subscribe in the bottom right-hand corner. And make sure you turn on the post notifications as well, so you never miss a live stream. There's plenty of live action coming up on the channel over the next few days as well, so make sure to keep across our social media platforms for that. And we'll be back, the three of us, will be back a week today, same time, just after 8 o'clock BST, where we'll be doing it all over again at the only North American round at non-North American round at Silverstone Grand Prix circuit. So hopefully you can join us there. But my thanks to Alex for doing the cameras and joining me in the commentary box, and Andrew Woodhouse as well. And from all of us here in the Apex Racing League GT4 VRS Challenge, we'll see you soon.